Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Um, I saw this last night on opening night, and I gotta say that I was really excited to see it. I mean, I thought it was going to be pretty awesome. I've been hearing a lot of really good reviews about it, and I was pretty pumped. I would say one thing I did see a lot of reviews about, or like I heard talk about, was like, this is top five Marvel. Um, that might be a little pushing it a little far, but it is good and definitely worth a watch. If you're, I mean, I feel like you already know if you're a Marvel fan, you already know you're gonna go see this. If you're more of like a casual fan, I think that you could probably skip this one if you want. If you do like action and martial arts movies, then I would say go ahead and check this out because it's pretty solid. Overall, I think my favorite part about the movie was definitely the fight sequences. I thought they were really cool and interesting. And the fighting with not only like hand to hand combat fighting, but like with weapons and with the Ten Rings it looked really clean and really good and well choreographed. So I really enjoyed that. I thought the humor in this movie was pretty well done. It wasn't like constant humor, but when it did happen, I felt like it hit pretty well. Um, which is good because sometimes it can be like, I know that like a lot of Phase 2 movies, I feel like specifically had um a lot of humor that kind of, it was okay, but it wasn't necessarily the best. It was kind of like, we're just throwing humor in here to throw humor in here. Um, I'm trying to think what else was super good. Characters, I thought Shang-Chi as the main character, he was good. Katie, which is like his um, main side character, she was really funny, really had a good time. I thought a lot of the acting and stuff in this movie was pretty well done and really interesting. The story overall was okay. I mean, like, let's be honest, it's a Marvel origin story, right? Like, we kind of know what we're getting. We're getting a hero setup for the future of the MCU. So there's definitely some of like the formulaic um classic Marvel that we see. I thought that overall like the mythology was really interesting and the world building of it was really interesting, and like tying in since the 10 rings were mentioned in Iron Man 1, like tying in those events was really cool. um I'm trying to think of what else I can say without spoilers. Okay, I think from this point on there's going to be spoilers, so if you don't want any spoilers for the movie, peace out now. Okay. uh I One thing I really liked is that they, with tying in all those pieces from previous movies and kind of explaining them, of what the Ten Rings and the Mandarin was actually doing during that time, I thought was really funny. And when they brought Trevor back from Iron Man 3, I thought that was super good. I'm honestly really happy that they brought that actor back because he's just like a nice comic relief, mostly because I just think he doesn't know what's going on at any point ever. He's just like totally in his own world, and it's great. I think you need, fun characters like that throughout the MCU can be a good time. My one big critique of this movie was the ending sequence, the conclusion of the story, which is this is a huge spoiler, so but I already gave you guys a spoiler warning. So the very ending, the Mandarin and the Ten Rings come to what's it, Tao Lo? Is that what the village is called? I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, but I might be wrong. I mean, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But basically, they come to the village that's like protecting, in this like mythical space just outside of the world, and they're like protecting a basically they've sealed off like the rest of the world, I think is kind of how it goes, and they're protecting it from like these creatures that like suck out the souls of living people. Um, and I liked that setup with the mythology and stuff like that, but we end up getting the Ten Rings come and they're fighting the village, and that's the main battle, and then the Mandarin goes and he's like breaking down the gate, the barrier, blocking these creatures in and releasing them because he thinks his wife's inside. And then the whole village and the Ten Rings come together to fight these creatures, and it kind of felt like we're gonna throw another evil force at these two forces already fighting, because we need to have like the Mandarin have like a redemption piece. I felt like that was very much, I feel like that took away, like there were some cool action scenes in that part for sure, but I felt like it took away from the story as a whole, because the story is really about Shang-Chi and his family. That's what the main story is about. It's about him and mainly about him and his relationship with his father. And so, they have their battle, and Shang-Chi kind of becomes his own person. I would say at that point, kind of accepts who he was and decides who he's going to be moving forward, I feel like, in that fight sequence. And that is where I wish they would have focused on, instead of bringing in this other threat. It took away from that moment for me, and other people might feel differently, but I think that this can be a problem and I've seen this in books too, but in a lot of modern writing is, we want to make villains that are redeemable. And I honestly think prior to this, like, the Mandarin was a very well thought out character. He was, I would say, evil, but not in the way of like, I want to burn the world down, or I'm just doing this because I'm a violent person. He just had power and he just wanted power. That's all that's what he cared about for a long time, and like until he found love. And I think that is interesting enough that it could have stood on its own outside of anything else. He doesn't need to die like that in the end to for us to feel like this catharsis with his character. I feel like he could have just like I was telling this to my fiance. I feel like he could have just like given the Ten Rings over to Shang-Chi, and that could have been the end of his life, right? Like he could have just like, his immortality runs out when he gives up the rings. Like, yeah, he wasn't wearing them before, but like he didn't pass them on to someone else, and maybe that's what caused his death instead. And it was more about him giving up that power. I think that would have been a much more satisfying conclusion personally. However, I still think the battle's good. I just don't think that it's like, top, top 5 Marvel. There's a lot of really good Marvel movies and shows now that I'm not sure would I would put it up that high. I might do it like a Marvel like tier list at some point, but this is definitely solid, which is most Marvel these days. So let me know what you guys think. Post comments down below if you want to talk about it with me. Um, I feel like this one has kind of gone under the radar for a lot of people, so I'm interested to see like who's gone and watched it. I mean, even like my theater that we went to on opening night, it really didn't have a whole lot of people. It was not very packed, which is, I mean, good, but like, because like then we're not like crammed in there with a bunch of other people. But I felt like it was like there's just been so much Marvel this year that I feel like people are like might be a little burned out or might just be like, I'll just wait till it comes out. This isn't something I want to see right away. So, yeah, that'll be it. So, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you next time.